Alright, this is episode 2. We are right back where we started. And let's go to a boss fight.
Alright, boss fight.
Yeah, boss fight. This is our first boss fight.
Is he gonna be easy?
It is a gigantic rat.
It's a flying rat? It has webbed arms.
It's like a rat beaver thing. It's not very difficult. It's very big, which means it's also very slow.
That's always nice, especially in games based on timed movements.
Yeah. And, like, the main thing you want to do is, like, take care of his allies first, so that they can't bother you.
That'd be the logical decision.
But, I mean, they're so weak that they don't really do anything anyway. So there's no real punishment if you decide not to do that. And the rats can heal themselves through magical powers.
Alright, magical powers.
By rats. And as you
Collateral.
can see, you know, I just took the shit. I just beat the shit out of that rat right there. Like, there's no point to actually wasting your time taking them out when they just come right to you.
Come on, do it. I
Huh?
was gonna say to use Vivid Shot.
Oh, Vivid Shot is the
Oh,
picture.
never mind then. Don't do that.
So yeah, so using it would just be a waste of time.
Yeah, it would be.
So Allegretto is going to be your driving force in this game, as long as you're using this party setup. Because Beat is just god-awful. Never use Beat. After you can, switch him out. And now, I'm going to take a bunch of pictures.
Hooray!
Because taking pictures, if you wait a certain time, like, they'll develop fully. And then you get graded on your picture. It's like from D to A. Like D being the monster is barely in the picture, and like A is like it's a perfect shot. And if you get a bunch of A's, like that's worth about 2,000. But when you gain control of Allegretto and Beat next, because you're going to switch out after this boss fight, spoilers. But after you switch out from this boss fight, what's going to happen is, like, it'll develop, and there'll be they'll fully developed, so there'll be a photographer in the store where you can sell the photographs for a lot more, for like double the price than they would usually go.
I'm assuming the pictures of bosses would be worth more?
Mm-hmm. And so you'll get, like, instead of 2,000 a picture for an A rank of a boss, you get 4,000.
So I guess it's...
Which is kind of the whole reason I took so many pictures.
I guess it's good for money grinding.
Of this particular boss. It's money grinding, so that way you don't have to do it later on in the game. Or not really later on in the game, but just like...
Oh, look, Beat's gonna die.
So you don't have to grind for money now. It's like a convenience thing. And as you can see, Beat is a piece of shit because he's almost dead already. Good job, Beat. Good job. There's actually a thing, like, if you use Rapid Shooter from too far away, a certain amount of shots will not hit. Like, I think it's, if you're, like, cross-map, like, literally, like, diagonally cross-map, like, only 2 shots will hit. Like, there will be, like, a recoil.
Recoil?
Like, recoil. Because he uses a gun hammer.
Right. I play Call of Duty, I don't know what
like,
recoil is.
Like you can see, like, the thing, like, sometimes it'll just, like, bounce up. Like, right there. Like, if I was farther away, that third shot might not have hit.
Yeah.
And the bosses in this game, they have a lot of health. And that's... Generally, it's just a grind fest before they go down.
Yeah, endurance battles.
The reason I'm using Rapid Shooter so much with Beat is
He
because
does a lot more damage than everything
his
else.
regular attack, well, his regular attack does like 20 damage to this boss. And so you could either do 20 damage per shot, or in the same amount of time you could do 200 a shot.
Yeah.
It's basic math, basically.
Yep. Looks better.
Indeed.
Thank you so much!
You bet. Don't eat it all at once.
Hey, Riddle, why is bread so expensive anyway? If it was a little cheaper, we wouldn't have to steal it for people. Do you think the baker lady is just being greedy?
Well, you know, Beat, it's not actually the baker lady's fault.
Huh? What do you mean?
The reason the bread is so expensive is the high taxes on it. It's not just bread either. In Retardondo, just about everything you need for everyday life has high taxes on it. That's why there's a lot of kids out there who can't get a decent meal to eat these days.
And that's why they need us to help them, right?
Yeah, the only thing that's not taxed is mineral powder.
Oh, I see. So that's why anybody can get it, because it's so cheap. I guess the Counterforte isn't really that bad after all. I mean, at least it keeps the tax on medicine cheap. Besides, you and I have the bread problem pretty much taken care of.
Hey, don't get cocky. Be careful what you say, Beat. Come on, let's hurry up and drop off the rest. Then it's time for us to eat.
Polka, dear, what's wrong? You've been sitting in your room all day. Oh, what am I going to do with you? I guess what happened is still bothering her. Poor thing. I should just stop her from going to Retardondo. Whenever she goes there, she ends up getting hurt. Polka, help me pick some flowers later, okay?
Hey, Riddle, did you notice that magician girl from yesterday wasn't around today?
Yeah, you're right.
I guess I should have taken a picture of her.
Are you still messing around with that stuff? You need to look at things with your own two eyes. You'd see things a whole lot clearer if you didn't look at them through bent glass.
That's not what photography's about at all, Riddle. And another thing, it isn't called bent glass, it's called a lens.
Still, you have to feel sorry for that girl. I guess she won't be around for much longer.
What? She won't? What are you talking about?
Don't you know anything? That girl was able to use magic. And that means she must be sick with some kind of incurable illness. That's how it works. Basically, magic is a side effect of her disease.
And it's always fatal?
That's right, yeah. Only people who are gonna die soon are able to use magic like that.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, I guess being able to use magic isn't that great after all.
No, it's not. You can't use magic powers unless you're really sick. This world's pretty messed up.
I get it. That's why no one in town wanted to get near her yesterday. They didn't want to catch her illness, too.
Yeah, that's right. But the disease isn't actually contagious. That's just a rumor somebody started.
A rumor?
Yeah, it's weird. Most of the time, people don't really trust each other. But when it comes to something that they think might hurt them, they'll believe just about anything they hear. And they'll ignore almost anything else that doesn't help them directly.
Oh.
As long as they have food on their table, they don't care if other people out there are starving.
And that's why we steal bread to bring them, right?
Okay, Beat. We leave first thing in the morning.
What? I'm too excited about tomorrow to fall asleep. And besides, it's way too early to go to bed anyway. Oh well, I guess I'll go out and look at the stars or something. I don't see many stars out in the sky tonight. I guess all the bright lights from the city make it hard to see them.
Olga, there you are. I was wondering where you went when I didn't see you in your room. Retardondo certainly is beautiful at night.
Do you think so? Somehow, When I think back on it, I get the feeling it was much more beautiful when I was a little girl.
Yes, well, things always seem nicer in our memories. It's still just as beautiful. You'll have bad dreams if you stay up too late. Come on, let's get some sleep.
Is Retardando really the same as it's always been? Really?
No, it's not. This place used to be much more beautiful. You have a heart that sees the world with open eyes, don't you?
Who are you? And what are you doing out here this late at night?
Everything in the world slowly fades with time. It is very difficult to remain still and keep things exactly as they are in just one particular moment. But because everything shifts only a little bit at a time, no one really notices the change.
The things that Frederick is seeing, is it all really just a dream? The difference between dreams and reality may very well just be relative.
Oh, and what makes you say that?
Well, I don't know. I guess it just came into my mind when I was watching Frederick's face while he was sleeping.
That may be more true than we know. Perhaps what Mr. Chopin is experiencing is not a dream. Only the individual can determine what is a dream and what is reality. Just because his eyes are closed, that does not necessarily mean he is dreaming. However, if he comes to think that the world he's in on the other side is the true reality, then...
Then, it's possible he may never return to our reality.
Wow! So you can use magic powers too, Frederick? Oh, but then that must mean you're like me. And that you're gonna die soon too.
Yes, you're right. I'm afraid that may very well be true.
So, what kind of magic can you use?
Well, essentially any and all kinds of magic. After all, this whole world is in my dream.
You're a strange man, Frederick.
No, it's true. Everything around us is all a part of my dream. Even you are just a product of my imagination.
Okay then. If what you say is true, can you tell what I'm thinking about right now? If we really are inside your dream, then reading my mind should be easy for you.
Of course it is. You were thinking that you don't want to use your magical abilities in front of other people anymore. Am I correct? I don't blame you for feeling that way. No one likes to be hurt.
Wow! Frederick, there's something I'd really like to show you, but it's in the forest. Would you come with me?
Huh? You want me to go with you to the forest? You mean right now?
Yes, because it can only be seen at night.
Oh my god, gameplay.
What is it? It's been like, what, 20 minutes? No, not 20 minutes, like 15 minutes?
Basically, that's one of the longer cutscenes in the game, thankfully. But it doesn't come close to the longest. Like, seriously, I think the longest is like 45 fucking minutes long.
I still don't think it beats
Let's go to a
Metal Gear.
raft so we can get some floral powder. Just sitting out there in the lake.
Yeah, I still don't think it beats Metal Gear Solid 4.
Oh, we're gonna go inside. And cutscene.
Oh, it's...
Oh, I know, it's an unvoiced
text.
cutscene, never mind. I thought this was an actual cutscene. My bad.
At least it's somewhat relevant, even though you're skipping through it fairly quickly.
I mean, it's like, I wait for it to finish completely, and it just, since this game loads it really fast.
Yeah, I just read it myself, and when I'm done reading it, then I skip it.
I mean, no, I don't read it, I see it stop, and then I wait a second, then I hit A to continue.
I just read it myself, because if you can't read at my speed, then you can't read fast enough. And that's your problem, not mine.
I mean, the thing is, like, for me, it's like, oh, you can just pause it, it's not like it's gonna really matter too much.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's reheating some stew, and we're just gonna dick around doing nothing. We got an angel trumpet.
Random items and random plants in your bedroom.
Of course. Well,
Because everybody has plants in their bedroom.
I don't. Fortunately. Maybe they're very ego-friendly.
Sure, I guess.
I saved here in case, like, because that cutscene is so long.
Nobody wants to watch that twice.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, okay, in case of power outage, save.
Yeah, with all this crazy weather going on.
Yeah, really.
Who knows what the hell's gonna happen?
I had some nasty weather when I was recording this, like, 2 weeks ago. Literally 2 weeks ago. This is a unique area. One of the... You will never visit this again. Much like many of the other dungeons in this game.
Yeah, this isn't that demo too.
It's a pretty cool area. I like it. I like the effects. It's very pretty looking.
Yeah, you always like these pretty looking maps. It's easy on the eyes, like
yeah,
everything in Final Fantasy.
I play on standard def, so and if I can tell something looks pretty, then that's saying something. Frederick does not like these birds.
They're soulless creatures.
Indeed. And then I didn't realize that I didn't need to heal, so I wasted hitting Y for nothing.
It's not like you have mana. So it's not like you have mana.
Yeah,
or
that's
mana.
true.
Or however you people want to pronounce it.
Frederick is basically like a good version of Polka. Whereas, like, he can heal and do damage with his attack in the dark, but unlike Polka, he can actually do a decent amount of damage with his basic strike. And his heal isn't as effective. His magic isn't as good as Polka's is. But he does a lot more damage than she does, and he's just all around a better character, I think.
Yeah, the more damage, the better.
He's like the Red Mage if the Red Mage was good. Like, you can see, like, Polka's doing... Oh, actually, this is something I forgot to mention. There's, like, a distance thing in this game, too, I think. Like, the farther you are away from a character, the less damage... farther away you are from an enemy, the less damage you'll do. I think. Because, like, I've noticed, like, the farther you are from something, you'll do less damage to it. Like, now with Polka, I'm doing a lot more damage to this thing than I was before. Because I'm slightly closer than I was when I originally attacked it. I have no clue why it's in the game, it just is.
Sure, why not?
it's in there for shits and giggles, basically.
Yeah, as you say for the Modern Warfare 2 thing.
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck not?
The way through this game, like, it's very linear. Like, you'll see I'm not doing as much damage as I was, but the way you can get through this game very easily is, like, when you're in a dungeon or something, and you somewhat know the way, like, if you fight every monster you come across, you'll be perfectly leveled for the boss. Like, it's a systematic thing.
Well, that's good.
It works every single time. And also, the enemies, if you are right in front of them, they will see you and they can block your attacks, like that. They generally will stop blocking randomly, though. So you can look forward to that, but...
Why is she apologizing?
I don't know. She's stupid.
She's killing something that's trying to kill her. Why is she apologizing?
Also, the name of these birds we're fighting is La Opera Night. You get it because it's a music game?
Yeah.
That is my favorite move ever. It just looks so
Looks pretty
badass.
Cool. It does. You know, this is off topic, but Final Fantasy 13, the final boss, he uses Ultima, and it's just like a pushover attack, and you're thinking it's Ultima, it should be powerful.
Yeah. Well, that
Adamantulets, or not Adamantulets, Shalongui, which is like the highest, one of the strongest enemies in the game. It uses Ultima, and it kills your party in one hit.
The thing is, like, the great thing about this move is that it's actually powerful. It remains powerful through the game. Like, you can see, like, right there, I got a 16-hit combo, then used it, and it killed the monster instantly.
Yeah.
Which is a lot better than Polka could ever do. And I'm abusing the time frame that I'm given, so I can heal 4 times. Or heal 3 times and just do that. A good idea to use if you're, like, trying to be more offensive and use your dark magic is, because each character will cast a shadow in the light, you can stand in that shadow. And sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't, because, like, when they get hit, they recoil, or, like, they'll bounce back. And if you're standing at the edge of the shadow, that will affect what you stand in. The game does take that into consideration.
I'm sure it's just thinking shadow.
Polka is worthless. I get rid of her as soon as I can.
Yeah, Sheikama isn't too bad.
Well, she's not terrible, but I mean, she's not the best character. I mean, you can see, like, Frederick, he's doing the same amount of damage as she does, but he has a 4-hit combo in the same time. Not to mention his special is a lot better. I've never seen that attack before. That's the first time I've ever seen that attack.
And you couldn't chance it either.
No, well, I mean, it's because I chance it. Like, if you hit B too early, like, the chance won't come up because you're guarding too early.
Like, that's a fairly powerful attack. You just like 412 damage right there. And that just did double that.
Yeah. That's the thing about Frederick, is, like, again, he's the red mage if the red mage was good.
Hey, I use a red mage when I play Final Fantasy.
I mean, it's like you can see his stats, like, they're pretty average, like, they're well balanced. It describes Frederick in his entirety. Like, there is someone later on who does what he does better, but nowhere near as awesome. So,
right.
I continue to use Frederick all the way through the game.
Let's see, whenever I won't go through Final Fantasy. Me being me, I always get 3 warriors and a red mage. Because I love diversity.
No, yeah, like, what I'll do, I always think there's more than one enemy when there's not, and it bothers me. But there's no real reason to use items if you're halfway skilled in this game. I mean, like, right now, if you're playing as beaten Allegretto because you can't heal aside from items, there actually is a boss that is fairly difficult that you do need to heal for. And if you're not expecting it, it's like the one time I died my original playthrough was to this boss because it is pretty ridiculous. Just what the game demands of you. And if you're like me and you didn't know that, you could use items. Nice fail, Marcus. But
What did that do exactly?
Hmm?
So what did that do exactly?
Sacred Signatures is heal. Like I wanted to use is Più Grave, which I'm pretty sure is pronounced wrong, but now you can see me fail with the item selection screen. Like wait. Oh, you have to go down. That's right.
Oh well.
Your equipment is divided into 3 things. It's your weapon, your armor, and then 2 accessory slots. Your weapon is very basic, although some characters will get like specific weapons that will, like their attack will be low, but like they'll have a separate attack stat for like dark or lights. And what that means is like the damage will be increased to light enemies if it's dark, or increased if it's dark to light enemies, something like that. And so it'll do like double damage against the opposite and half damage against the same nature. And there's really no reason for it, because the weapons they're on for characters that are just terrible anyway, so you're never going to use it.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, if you're going up against something that you knew was dark, you could potentially use that weapon and make it a bit more unfair of a fight.
Right. Do they ever like take advantage of the whole lighting system and like make enemies invisible in the dark or something?
Yes, they do.
Really?
Oh, next video. I think it's next video anyway. There are enemies that shapeshift depending on which light they're in. Like those mini pumpkin things I was talking about, how they're like super easy and they show up later in the game. Later on in the game, like when you fight them when there's darkness, they turn into gigantic like coconut things, and they do massive damage.
Okay, random enemy AI is random.
And my controller's bugging out here, if you can't tell. Like the AI in this game, like it can't turn around on a whim unless it's a boss. So like it'll have to like loop around. Like that's the way it was programmed. So that way it wouldn't be. So that way every like common encounter was potentially fatal.
I like when common encounters are fatal.
I don't, especially this early in the game.
Again, Final Fantasy 13.
Well, Final Fantasy 13 isn't this game.
That's true, but still. Oh, this is the end of the video.
They're both very linear though. And yeah, this is the end of the video. 33 minutes long.
Golly, I see a lot more long parts coming.
It's not as long after this. Peace.